Hi, my name is Seth Maxwell, and you're watching me on LivingECO.
The hour and the man of the year. We have Seth Maxwell, and you are the president and founder of the Thirst Project.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you talk a little bit about what the Thirst Project is?
Yeah, we're a nonprofit organization that brings safe, clean water to communities by building freshwater wells.
Fantastic. How did you get started with the Thirst Project?
I moved to LA when I was 19, and I was studying theater and acting like so many other people. And I had a friend who was a photojournalist who had just come back from a trip that she had taken all over the world for about a year and a half. And she was the first person to expose me to the global water crisis and the fact that, it kills more people than AIDS, malaria, and all world violence combined, including war. So basically, long story bearable, I just got my friends involved and we started raising awareness on our campus. And then other schools began asking us to come there. And so we started speaking at schools. And now, 4 years today actually later, we have about 200 schools across America with students that have done dances for water, video game tournaments for water, and they've raised about $2.6 million to give about 100,000 people clean water.
That's fantastic. How much does a well cost to drill?
Yeah, it depends on where you build. The least expensive wells we can build, like in Uganda, sometimes in certain places of Ethiopia, are about $4,500 to $5,000. Depending on where we build, though, like in Swaziland, the place we're coming into today, it's about $15,000. And then there are ranges in between, just in case a number of factors indicate, terrain it has an impact on it, how you have to transport rigs over mountains, the soil content you have to drill through if it's really rocky or challenging. So that's sort of the determining factors and what changes the price.
So do you set up a water committee?
We do, actually, yeah, absolutely. So a big part for the success of the lifetime of a project, because we place a really high value on sustainability, is engagement of the community. And so the first thing they have to do is they have to sign actually what's called a water constitution, which is a written agreement for all the heads of households to commit to have equal usage of the water source. Then they elect a water committee that's 5 men, 5 women, which begins to, engender a higher sense of social status for the women in the community. And then they're trained by the drillers on how to maintain the well in terms of cleanliness, repair if it breaks, and they set up a water project operation and maintenance fund to make sure they have the funds set aside when they need to make repairs. Not only they know how to do it, but they have their own funds to do so.
So as far as meat goes, we've been hearing a lot about meat recently, even in California, in Fresno area, California, that the nitrates from runoff from factory farms are contaminating our water wells. And I was wondering, I read that in Swaziland, the government's trying to create a commercialization of meat. And I'm wondering, meat seems to use so much more water. I think it's 10 times more water than wheat to create a pound of meat. So what's being done as far as the use of the water in Swaziland and Africa as well?
I think that there's very much two different mindsets that you have to look at water. We work in extremely rural communities, and the types of places and the people that we're working with would not in any way, shape, or form be a part of the sort of commercialization of meat there. You're looking at basically, I think there's sort of the westernized view of Africa where you fly in and people think, I should be seeing mud huts and rocks everywhere. And when you fly into an airport and there's a city and it's a municipality and there are paved roads and Wi-Fi's. And so those types of initiatives that you're talking about with that commercialization would really happen in those sort of commercial hubs. And in Swaziland, there are 2 major cities. There's Baban and Manzini. And so Baban's the capital, and it's likely that whatever initiative, I'm actually not familiar with the initiative you're talking about, but if someone, whether it's a private company or a government-regulated initiative, is trying to push that through, it's most likely to be happening in those areas. The rural communities that we work in these are people who are walking 3 or 4 kilometers to get water from a pond or a stream. And so when we build our wells...
It isn't even clean, is it?
No. The water...
Filthy.
It's going to make them sick and in many cases kill them. So the water and the people that we're working with is so rural, the types of projects that would be, it's just a very entirely different issue.
Wow. So what are some of the most uplifting things that you've seen as a result of your work?
I mean, it sounds like almost too good to be true, but it's amazing when you bring safe water into a community. You see disease drop by upwards of 80% almost overnight. I mean, you see child mortality drop by upwards of 90% almost every time overnight. And besides just disease and impact like that, the cool thing is if you've got women or kids that are spending 8 hours a day walking to find water and they're not able to go get jobs or get an education, suddenly it means that time is available to them and they can suddenly get an education, which impacts their ability to get a job, which impacts their ability to earn more and sort of begin that whole cycle of community development and alleviate them from the place they're in. So it's really amazing.
So what is the goal of today's Thirst Project event?
We are making a public declaration. We're actually going to sign a declaration to declare to the world that we will not leave or withdraw from the country of Swaziland until every single person has safe water. And it's a commitment that no one has ever done. No one's ever given an entire nation safe water. And Swaziland is so small, there's only about 1 million people there, and it's a really attainable victory point. It's about $50 million. So we have spent the last 12 months assembling a team of amazing people to put together our strategic plan for this. We've got executives from JP Morgan Chase who have been part of the strategic planning committee, the CEO of the Meritage Group, also some of our entertainment professionals, and they've really architected this. And so we're really excited to announce that we are starting today, giving ourselves 10 years to raise $50 million and do what's never been done before.
So what can the people watching this video do to help you, and what can people do if they don't have a lot of money or they don't have any money to help you? What can they do?
Yeah, well, the first thing we can do actually is if you are a student or if you have kids, bring us to your school. Email info@thirstproject.org, and we would love to grow our school tour. That's a big part of our plan, is to aggressively scale that and reach that, because people our age have tremendous capacity, and so engaging them is really important for us. But besides that, what I would say is, give up your birthday. Go to crowdrise.com/thirstproject and you can create your own fundraising page, and people can actually pledge to give in your honor, and then it doesn't cost you anything. Say, give my age in dollars, and it basically takes an event that's usually very sort of about you and makes it about someone else.